Okay, my final story is going to be just a revision of me telling of my experience in second grade with a teacher named Miss Kaufman that I will never forget. She had dark hair, she was tall, and I remember sitting in her classroom and her being upset that I hadn't completed a number of math assignments. So she questioned me about it, and I told her that I was having trouble with them. I didn't know how to do some of the work, and she explained that we went over it in class and I should know how to do it and that I was just lazy. And maybe she didn't understand if I was lazy or stupid, but she was pretty sure that I was lazy. I always remember that Miss Kaufman said that to me, and it made me feel um, like something was wrong with me. Being lazy and not understanding how to do something is kind of confusing to a child at that time. At that time, I think that, I didn't understand it, so I put it aside and avoided it because I didn't have the help. I understood that as I got older. But throughout those years of middle school, since that second grade experience with Miss Kaufman, even throughout high school, I did everything that I could to avoid math classes, and I kind of got away with that. Whenever it was being explained, I would be there while it was being explained, but if it was time to select people to go up to do word problems on the board, I would make excuses. I needed to leave. I needed to use the restroom. I just would do everything I could to avoid math. I even missed prom in high school because I was so stressed out that I wasn't going to graduate because I had saved my math exit exam for last, and I was having so much trouble with it. I was afraid, and I just shut down, and I ended up graduating, and I ultimately did complete the math exit exam, but I didn't do my best on it. I just did the bare minimum just to get by, and I think I kind of was, I think I was let through, honestly, because my teachers knew that I had an anxiety, not necessarily an inability. I had already been accepted to college, so I believe that, and they knew that, so I think that, that they passed me through. However, when I got to college, it became even more of a problem, and my anxiety increased. Eventually, I dropped out of college. I ended up just going home. I ended up getting a job, getting several jobs, and working, having an apartment, and that seemed to be enough for me. Once I had a child, I realized that I wanted my child to go to college. And I realized I couldn't explain how important to my child it was to go to college if I myself didn't have a degree. So I started to work towards getting myself back in school. Once I started taking math classes, I realized I wasn't lazy, and I didn't have an inability to understand math. I just needed to do the steps more often, which was more practice. Learning style needed to be step by step so that I could understand and I could get through math. So I really believe that at that age, having a person speak to you in a negative way can have a negative impact depending on that person. And I believe that positive reinforcement is much better received and is much better for the learning process than negative comments in regards to ability and inability.